Welcome back to DS Trucks. In today's video, I want to do a full walk around of our snow plowing setup for 2021 to 2022. So this is our setup. It's a 2020 F450 6.7 power stroke, and we've got the Fisher XLS expanding wing snow plow 8 to 10 foot blade, as well as the 2-yard salt dog spreader on the back. So let's start at the front with the plow. I actually just picked this snow plow up this year. It is the same as the one we've had before and we still have on our other truck, our 2019 F250, the Fisher XLS 8 to 10. I did want to go with the 8.5 to the bigger one. I can't remember the exact sizes on it, but it's a little bit bigger. But that one was just harder to get, so I just went ahead and got another 8 to 10 foot blade, stainless steel. I did pick this up used. It had this custom made snow deflector on it. It's pretty much just poly instead of the original Fisher version. The owner of the company actually put that together himself, and he kind of made these wings, these snow deflector wings for the wings, out of some kind of a rubber material. But the stainless steel plow, it's a very heavy plow. It has a trip edge on it, so it's very similar to the Western Whiteout. It moves snow good, and it definitely moves better with this heavier truck behind it. Nothing but really good things to say about the stainless steel plows. They're just great plows. The Fishers, never really had any major problems with these. A little bit of issues like the headlights and a module here and there, but nothing crazy. These things are so heavy duty built. This was supposed to only have one season on it, but it came with, like I was pointing out, the snow deflector, and it also came with the back dragging edge down below. So when you're back dragging, you can get a better scrape. So pretty good plow. It is not the LED version or anything, but I think the truck's flashy enough as it is, so I figured I wouldn't spend the extra money on the LED lights on the plow. Now, moving back, the F450, this thing actually pushes snow really good, despite having the commercial tires that don't have a ton of lug in the tires. This thing still pushes really good because the F450 comes standard with the limited slip rear differential, which pretty much gives it so much stability over an open differential. Even with the electronic locking, that thing is not as useful as a limited slip. But when you're on ice and snow-covered roads and you step on the gas, the rear end tries to kick out around you, but that limited slip kicks in and it just straightens everything back out. So a limited slip is next level. Yeah, the tires aren't as good, but the limited slip makes up for it. So even though it's a dually and all that, you would think, oh, it's going to be way worse in the snow. Not so bad with the limited slip rear end. So coming over here to the salt dog, I've got some lights here. They are kind of oddly placed. I got them kind of pointing off to the sides here. And the reason I did that is because when I'm salting and I accidentally leave it on, or if I turn these on and I'm on main roads temporarily, I didn't want it shining back at people. But I think I'm definitely going to add a couple more that actually point straight back, and I'm going to go ahead and put them like up here, kind of looking back and kind of down, still not to be in people's eyes. But for the wiring for that, I actually used the Salt Dog supplied wiring. They supply you with a wire that is hot whenever their controller is on to power whatever accessory light you want. So I use their accessory wire, and I just heat shrinked in my own connector so I can disconnect this from the spreader, from the harness, and I can remove this because this is on this part that comes off. That part comes off, so it can be disconnected. So that's some custom wiring. When you look in here, you can see I've got some red and some black wiring going through here. That's 12 gauge wire going through, and I just pretty much tied it into my harness so it looks like it's part of the snow dog or the salt dog harness. But no, this is all custom made. Real nice shrink tube over the convolute. I got some dielectric in there to protect that plug. It's nice. It's a nice little kit. Now, like I said, it looks original. Now, one of the big things I do have on this truck that a lot of people tend to overlook is the rubber flap. Now, this rubber flap keeps the salt off of the truck, and it's one of the most important things with the truck, is keeping the salt off of the truck from the spreader. So this is a nice truck. I do have a little overspill here from my container, my salt container that I use for salting little spots, little small spots, actually spilled. There's a little container right there. It spilled and got everywhere, so that's not cool. But I think it's calcium chloride in there. But anyway, the most important thing you can put on your spreader is one of these guards. It protects the salt from blasting underneath the truck. It's basically just a rubber mat. It is the rubber mat that you can get from Ford. And you can also get these aftermarket. They're pretty much the same. Just get a heavy duty thick one if you're looking at getting one of these, and put it underneath the spreader and have it hanging down below like this. And it's gonna be like a big mud flap, and it keeps the salt off of the truck. Extremely important to have for any truck, but particularly this truck, because it is a nice truck. Truck still looks great underneath. Let's just take a peek underneath. We've been salting with it for a year now, and going on 2 years, and it's still brand new underneath the truck, guys. Still looks good, still clean, and that's because we have our salt deflector. So that's a big thing to have. We do also, I want to point out that we have a reverse camera. This camera you can get from Camera Source. It actually goes where the tailgate will plug in. So it takes advantage of the plug that the rear tailgate will use. It is a OEM camera that is in a housing that costs about $500 to do that, but as soon as you throw your truck in reverse, you can see behind you. Now with a big salt spreader like this, it is nice to have with a dually, all these things. You cannot see behind this truck, and it just makes it way more efficient and less likely to crash into something because you have a camera pointed behind you. So that is that. What else do we have? We do have our snow plow shovels. These are the big poly blade shovels. This is a 36-inch right here. These are the best shovels to have. Going inside of the truck here, let's take a look at our camera. So, like I was saying, when you put the truck into reverse, right on the screen, you get the camera, part of the infotainment already installed. We do have like a phone mount and everything here with the always hot charger to keep everything charged up for us. It really is nice to have all your routes and everything which appear on your phone. They're right there for you, right on your phone, right in front of you. You can run through your list and take care of business. That is almost pretty much it. Here's where we've got our Salt Dog controller. We still have like trimmer line in here from the summer, but salt controller comes on. That turns on the light. It's right down here. The wiring comes up from underneath the seat, and when you're in reverse, you can see it spinning on here, and you can see the salt coming out if you turn it on. Let's see if we're jammed up. Nope. No, look at that salt come out. Pretty cool there. And like I was saying, the deflector keeps everything off of the truck. Now for the controller for the snowplow, that is actually right here on the grab handle. So you can grab your controller like this. Now when I'm plowing, I like to operate my plow with my left hand because I'm never really steering and shifting at the same time. So the plow operate left-handed, and that way I can move the blade around whenever the truck is moving. So the plow's left-handed, and then with my right hand I'm steering and shifting, because I'm never really steering and shifting at the same time, but I could potentially be steering and operating the plow at the same time. So I found, it's a little awkward to get used to doing this at first. Left hand plow control, right hand steering and shifter control. But after getting used to it for about an hour or so, now I'm able to really effectively shift, steer, and while I'm steering and plowing, I can control my blade. I can raise the blade, stop, shift reverse, and my blade's already moving while I'm shifting and steering. So it allows a lot more simultaneous movement compared to just having your when I started, my controller was in my right hand because my right hand is dominant, and it's natural for me to do things with my right hand. And then my left hand was dominant on controlling the steering wheel because I was just normally used, because normally you think about it, you're in your truck and you're controlling your radio and stuff with your right hand. So normally by default you're used to driving left-handed. So that's an amendment I made last year and it really helped me. But as far as our controller, we're just storing it in our grab handle just like that. And yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much it for our setup here. We do, like I was saying, have a phone mount here. We've got our built right phone mount here. I do have a built right tech plate behind my passenger seat, which got my fire hydrant mounted, but I don't know what else I'm gonna mount here. These battery chargers, Milwaukee battery chargers, I actually got to take those out of here because salty shoes are gonna ruin those. I need to get those out. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for our salt spreader setup. Here's a look at the Salt Dog spread. It's always spread and a little bit to the left. Kind of is what it is. Not known for having the best spread, but it is what it is, guys. So here's a look at the lights, how they look once you turn on the controller. And what's interesting, guys, is these are the cheapest lights that you can get. And you can see they're cheap because look at the hardware, guys. The hardware is just totally rusted to death. I probably have to freaking cut these things off here if I ever wanted to get them off of here. Soak them in some Ames oil, penetrating high performance type of grease or something. But these lights, being as cheap as they are, have not missed a beat working out here in the elements. These are Oedro lights, guys. Oedro LED lights. Super ultra cheap, like $30 cheap, but bright, and they get the job done. They're big and just, I don't know, they just get the job done. Really, looking at this, I should have just hung them down from here, but I don't really have a way of fastening them to this except for like a self-tapping screw compared to this, which kind of worked out. I could always just aim these back a little bit more or whatever. But anyway, guys, this is DS Trucks. My name is Sean. This is my 2021 to 2022 snow plowing setup. Very similar to last year with very subtle differences. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and see you guys in the next video. Over and out.